This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, now today we will see how to apply CSS to a Lightning component. This is an individual topic, right? This is a standalone topic, and once we can full-fledged move into the LWC concepts, right? So let us complete it. So for that, let me go ahead and first write authorize an org. It's a production org. I press enter, right? Let me authorize our org LT96. I'm running an sfds CLI command to authorize an org. So there we go. Rupam, RUPUM, Rupam @ LT96.com, password CRM1234#. Okay, now I close it, close the tab. We don't need it. The system has authorized. Control Shift P. I will say create a new Lightning component. See underscore 2906 underscore EG1 underscore CSS EG. I press enter. Right? We are going to do CSS. Let's see how to create a CSS. Right. System is creating a component. So let's wait. Okay, there we go. We see that 2906. Now let me go to my HTML. That's where I do the designing. What I will do is that I will just go ahead and I will put right some, so that lightning right. I will say lightning input directly without any card or layout. I'm saying lightning input. One input box will come. I will say type. What type of data will it handle? It will handle text, right? Label. What is the label of that? I will say enter name. That's the label. Enter name, right? I want to capture the data. I'm showing you the last class also where we have captured the data using an event. So I will say on change what? Right? Call me. On change, call me. Perfectly fine. Now, whatever the data is, I want to put inside a div. Div is a box. In HTML, div is a box division. Box. If you remember that in Lightning also you use div, CLSS class. Same thing. Class equals to what? I will say class equals to box. And I will put my output here. I will say you have entered what? I want whatever the name that you have entered, right? Whatever the name that you have entered, right? I will say name. Whatever the data that you have entered. I declared a variable called name, right? Now, that's good. That's really fine. First, let us complete the first piece of it before we come to the CSS. I go to my JS, JavaScript. That's what the LWC talks about. This is the client-side scripting, right? What I will do, because the data will be changing, so I'll say track. I will take track. Then I will say at the rate, oh, TRACK, track what? Name. I'm declaring a field called name, right? Name. That's exactly what I'm using here. You have entered the name, track name. Now I will write my call me function. What is the here I have written call me. Control C. Call me. Call me. In this event, event, event. Always put event here, right? Next, what I will say, this dot name, this dot name. Whenever you're referring a variable, I told you to use this dot. This dot name equals to what? How we get the value? We get the value with event dot target dot value. Event dot target dot value. Value. Event dot target dot value. That's it. So whenever I write something and change, I will get this event dot target dot value. I'll say control S.
The target
Right?
name spelling is wrong.
Target spelling ARGET. Right? What I'm writing TARGET. Okay. Event dot target dot value. Control S. Perfectly fine. I go to here. Right? I make it true. Small expose equals to true for now. I'm not giving any area. Control Shift P. I deploy this to the source org. Deploying it to the source org. It's getting deployed to the source org. Let's wait. Once the deployment is done, meantime, right, as it's deploying, let us logging into Salesforce there. Rupam @ right lt96.com, password crm1234#. I press enter. Right, let me see. Deployment source org successfully ran. Perfect. It got deployed. This is what we did in the last class, if you remember, right? So now I click on my setup. I click on developer console. It's not coming up properly. So setup developer console. Okay, there we go. There's a dummy already there. Fine. Now I right click on my any one of the component. I say rename. I copy it. Control. I come here. I change it to 29 under Aura application. Aura app. I click on preview. Simple. You will get that. There is no issues at all. Enter the name. R. See that this is what the track does. I entered R. It's immediately tracking it. Any change. U. P. As I'm typing half, it's on change. It's not that after you type complete and then you press tab and it will show. No. Track is used. Any change. It will not wait for the data to complete. RUPOM Rupam. See. As I'm typing, it's entering here. This is track. @track. This is @track. Whatever you're entering here, it's coming there. @track. Perfectly fine, it's working. Now let us apply the CSS. To apply a CSS, first thing is that right click, copy, rename, copy the name. Now, right click parent component. This is the parent, you can see that. LW2906. When I expand it, I have 3 bundle. HTML, JS metadata. Right click on the parent. Click on new file. Click on new file. Enter the name as .css. Enter the name as CSS. Press enter. Now you see that the fourth component, fourth bundle element comes in. LWC has fundamental elements: HTML, JS, CSS, JS-meta.xml. Remember this, these are the 4 elements. Now I will go to my CSS. Now I will go to my CSS. Now I will go to my CSS. It's blinking here. I will say dot. What were the name I gave? Box. Right, there we go. Dot box. Dot CSS elements. Dot box. Control S. Wait, it's giving an error. Keep on watching. Let us see HTML. What is box? What we gave box. Here also, when I come here to the CSS, I gave dot box. Don't worry, once we deploy it, it'll take it. Now it's giving yellow. That means warning, not red. All has become yellow. There's a problem in the file, right? Now, what do you want to do? All your CSS, the way you write in Salesforce, write in Lightning, the same thing you'll be writing. Dot box. I will say background. Keep on watching. Right? See, background. I will say background. Background equals to what? Red. Right? Background equals to, I will say background equals to what? GRE. See, system is giving you gray. Now that see, all errors gone. Background equals to gray. Right? Color. COL color. Color equals to what? Red. I want red. Margin left. See, I need not to go anywhere. Margin top, margin left. Margin left equals to how much? From the left, I want, right? Let's say 100 px. 100 px. Next, margin. Up, I will say 250 or 150 px. Next, what I'll say? Border. 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 I will say border. Oh, what else we have in border? BORDR. Border. See, these are all borders available. Border image, border, 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 border. See, border. I will say border. Right, border. Right, I will say that 5px. Control S. This is how you apply the CSS. CSS style. Everything simple. The way we applied there, right? Now I have to say Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. I'm deploying it. In my previous slide, LWC elements, I didn't have any Now you see that I've applied a CSS to my LWC. Run. It ran fine. I can go ahead and refresh it. Right? It's loading. See? Whoa. Rough. Right? Whatever I'll enter, coming up here. Gray color text. Because I gave gray, it's taking gray background. Right? This is right. I didn't give the height, width. Height. Height equals to how much? I will say 100 px. Width equals to how much? 100 px. Right? Control S, Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. In single word, all your CSS can be done here. I'm just showing you a preview of the last class along with CSS. Right? Last class we did whatever we did in the last class. I've just shown you the recap. How to get a input field data. Now with that, how to go ahead and apply CSS. See, a box comes in like this. You have entered RUPOMCHAKRABORTY. See, my CSS. Similarly, can I apply a CSS to my right fields? Yes. If you give a space inner, that means I go here, I put this inside a lightning, right? Lightning card. Can I apply to a card? Yes. LIGHTNING, lightning CARD card. Lightning card. Right? Title equals to CSS EG example. Right? Title equals to, and I'm taking this inside, Control X, inside this. Can I say class C? Right? Yes, class equals to what? I can say box, Control S. Right? Now both is applying the same box. Right? Height is okay. Right? Width is, let's me take 300. Here also we'll take, okay, 300 by 500. 500. Control S, Control Shift P. Deploy this to source org. Everybody is clear how we can apply style to LWC interview questions, right? You have to create a new file called as .css. By default, this file is not available. We have only 3 files in the bundle component called HTML, called JS, called metadata. JS is the place where we write the client-side controller. HTML is the place where we do the designing part of the LWC, right? JS-meta is nothing but where the component will be exposed. Location, target location of the component is mentioned in JS meta. Right? Is mentioned in JS meta. Right? CSS is the place where you'll be doing your CSS related activities, all your CSS related activities. Now I go ahead, I refresh my, right? See, font color is right? It has. So it has not taken, because it here card will not take the height. Card will take what? Layouts. If you put the cards, then yes, it will take it. This whole card inside the box, then see, CSS is coming in red, the title. So, right, CSS is coming in red, the title. Why? Because the applying box. But why it's not taking the height and width? Because card will not take the height and width, it will take what? Layout. Unless and until you put this whole lightning, Control X, I put inside the box. Then I need not to apply the box. Right? Now I put everything inside the lightning, inside the box itself, you can see. Inside the div, Control S, Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. Right? Now everybody knows how to write a CSS in Lightning. Same concept here. But only thing is that create this file called as, right, CSS example. Understood, guys? Anybody has any questions? I'm not spending much time in the CSS because it's the same. See, RUPOM, and it's entering here because I gave a background as gray. Lightning card I have put inside a div, inside the div, and I have decided the width and height of the div. This is an LWC component, right? Now, before I move forward, I want to give you an LWC homework. right? Now today onwards, all your homework will start, right? Create a LWC component. I want you to create an LWC component, right? Create an LWC component with, right? This is an LWC component. I'm making it simple, which we have already done in the past, the same example I'm giving, right? Greater of 3 number. Greater of 3 numbers. Here I will say that what sum of n numbers, sum of n numbers, sum of n numbers. We'll talk about the radio buttons later when it comes. Now, sum of n numbers. I will have, right, number 1, number 2, number 3. This is what you will be doing it today in LWC. I want you to do this. I want the result to be displayed here in this box, right? I want CSS to be applied. I want CSS to be applied, right? I want a CSS to be applied. This is the thing that I want, right? Through LWC, right? LWC, not with Lightning, but I want you to create with LWC. How many of you can create? You know all this concept now. Let me log in. I'm posting it. Can you create, guys? Everyone with LWC, can you create? Yes or no? How many of you are confident that you can do it?
Yes, sir.
Others, anybody doubt that I cannot do it? Whatever we have learned in the last 1 week, by those learning, you should be in a position to create this. Share. Okay, with LWC, you have to do this. You all know, last class I've shown you how to add and do everything. You have seen how to add and everything, right? Last class you have seen how to add. Okay, now the next thing, right? Let's close it, move to the next topic. Today we will see the next type of variable as public variable. Variable, public variable. Whatever the variable that you have seen, this is a variable, name is a variable. When I go to the name is a variable. Whatever variable it is, it's a private variable. Whatever variable it is, it's a variable that can be accessed within the component. You cannot call this variable with some other component. I cannot call with some other component. I cannot call, right? Now let's see, whenever you want to pass a data to another component variable, we declare a variable as a public variable which can be accessed within the LWC environment, or a variable which can be accessed anywhere, right? In LWC, we call them as public variable. How to declare a public variable? Control Shift P, create a lightning component, LWC underscore 2906 EG1 underscore, oh sorry, EG2 underscore public variable, public var, public var, public var, public var. There we go, right? Now, so I click on public var. I just something here called as your name. I go to the var. I go to the right my JavaScript, my JS file. That's where I will write my client side control. Till now, whenever there's a data change, you put @track. Now I'll be using something called as comma API. A new keyword called as API. New API. Rupam, can we use both track and API? Yes. API. I will say @API space. What is that? I will say your name. Your name. @API your name. @API your name. I will say equals to what? Equals to RUPM Rupam CHAKRABORTY. Control S. Earlier I used to write @track. Track is for making any changes. If you don't use track, just you put a variable called public, that will be private. This is not a private variable now. If I remove @API, it is a private variable. If I say @track, @track, here I have to say comma TRACK, track. This is private variable, private changeable private variable. The data that should be tracked, right? If track, it will not change the data, what the change happening in the variable. Whenever I say track, now I am saying, right, @API. Automatically, whenever you say @API in interview, it's a must question. What is @API? @API declares a variable as a public. These variables can be accessed outside the component in another component. In example, whenever you want to pass a data to a variable, a variable, right, from another component, we have to declare the data as public. This is the public variable. Public variable. Control S. I come to the meta, .xml. I change the exposure to true. True. I change the exposure to true. Control S. Right here also I didn't save it. Control S. Control Shift P. Right. Deploy to the source org. Meantime, it right click on it. Click on right. I will say rename. Control C. Let's wait for the deploy to happen. Right. Deploy ran successfully. I come here. I paste it. I click on Control S. I click on update preview. Nothing. I'll get a name on the right hand side corner, your name, your name, your name. I will get it in the right hand side corner. Now, what I will do is that we will go ahead and we will see what is the purpose Rupam of public variable. I am creating one more component. Keep on watching. I'm closing everything now. Yeah, right. Control Shift P, creating web component LWC underscore 2906 E underscore, right, pub public var, right, parent, presenter. I'm creating one more component, right? There we go. So here, what I will do, can I call my earlier component inside this? Yes. How can you call it? What is my previous component? This is my previous component. Right click, rename, Control C. That's it. How can I call? I'm going to my example 3. I will directly say, right, what I will say, C dash, C dash, C dash, C dash, the API name, C dash, C dash. This is how you will be calling a component, custom component, right? Here, how did I define name in the example? Right, keep on watching. I said your name, but when it comes there, okay, if it's not a caps, keep on watching guys, I can directly call it here, right, where I'm here. I will say in example 3, your name equals to Ravi. There is no concept called as method. If you remember that the same thing is lightning is done with a what, aura method. From another component you can pass the value, right? In an aura method you can put aura attribute. From another component you can pass a data to the, right, another component. From a parent component you can pass it to the child. So that same thing I'm doing here. Also I'm passing the data. I'm in example 3. Inside the example 3 I'm calling example 2 and I'm passing the data. Control S, Control Shift P, right? Can I call it more than once? Yes. Control V, Control V, Control V. Ravi Verma, right? SATYS, Satya, right? Ramesh, right? And Venkat. See, Control S. I'm passing it. I'm calling what? Inside 3. I'm calling what? I'm calling 2. I'm in example 3. I'm calling 2. Let's come here. Set the visibility true. True. Control S, right? Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. Deploy this to the source org. Right? There's a deployment failed. See, deployment failed. What is the problem? Let's see. Problem. Good. Right? Failed to resolve entry module LWC 2906 example. Woof, 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 woof. Right? That means system is not able to forget about all this. Now that's a problem in Salesforce Lightning. many a times Salesforce doesn't recognize, never ever use in your name any caps. P is caps, var is caps, eg e is cap. Don't use these. Don't use these. Don't use this. Same thing I'm showing you now, right? Once again, watching, right? So these are all waste. I will right click on it. I will click name. I will say public var underscore waste. Don't read this component. Yes. Next. Okay. See, whenever I try to do, right? Close it. This is a JSON config it's creating. Okay. If I get a JSON config, it will create a problem. Okay, fine. No issues. Right? Waste. Next. Because inside this, all the name has to be changed, guys. Remember that. Public var underscore waste, waste, waste. All has to be same name. Right? Same way here also I'm clicking, right clicking on it. I'll say rename. I will say waste. Waste. Yes. Say Control S. Save it. Right? What happened? LWC. Problem. Waste. Let me check it out. We don't need this actually. But this entry is creating a problem. Here. See, okay, by the way, anyhow, it's a good thing that it has come to an error here. Every component will be registered in the JSON project. You can see this is the component and this is the JS file. JS file. Component name, JS file. That means here, right, you should have Control X, Control C. You should more entry like this. Here, you should have waste. That's the name of the component, Control C. Waste. You should have name of the component, waste. Remove this. Control S. See, mixing the JSON files. Right. My suggestion is that don't do this. Here I have to forgot the comma. Right. Where after this I forgot a comma. Control S. Manually fixing the file. Manually fixing the file. Right. Comma. Right. Did I fix it correctly? Yes. Comma. LWC. Parent underscore waste. Okay. System is not recognizing. Control S. Let's still we have two error. Expected at line number 32. Okay. Now see that I'm messing up everything, guys. Be careful when if you don't know this structure, right? Actually, it's correct only. Here it should have a bracket. Remove the Control S. This is what I'm doing. This is a structure. This is where, right, all your LWC naming, and remember that I gave you homework also in Lightning. How can you rename a Lightning component? Here you see that renaming a Lightning is creating a problem now. Right, I have a JSON failures coming up. See that? What? Renaming a problem. LWC 2906 example2 var. Example2 var is also creating a problem. Right? Example2 var. That is also creating a problem. Right? So I have to do the same thing. You have to do manually like this. Right? You have to do manually. All these you have to manually if you're renaming. Avoid naming, you delete it. My suggestion will be that right click, delete, move to recycle bin. Anyhow, by the now I've made the JSON all messed up, right? Delete, move to recycle bin, right? See that these are all those. Don't make manual entries. I'm trying to make some manual entries, and that's creating a problem, right? Never make manual entries like this. When we don't know, let's not make any manual entries, right? My suggestion is this, that don't make any manual entries, right? Automatically this will come called JSON. It will be here last after every LWC component, right? Towards the below the LWC, all the list of, you will be able to see JSON config.json. This is also one of the important file, right? Here all the entries are there. See, now I've completely messed up. Fixing this itself will take time now to understand which lightning component, what, and everything, right? So all the lightning components. Can any one of you can ping me this bottom part from your project? Just ping me the bottom part from this project, from line number 31, from your, if you have a lightning web project, we can rename. Wait, will come. Somebody has asked me, right? nsalesforce3@gmail.com, right? Will come to you. Can somebody share me this? I need to fix this file before I proceed. Renaming is creating so much problem. Keep on watching, right? Not whole. Okay, I will take from include. Copy, Control C, from include, Control V, right? This
There is a
waste,
comma before includes here.
there's a comma before include. Okay, Control S. There's a compilation problem because, right? What's the compilation problem? LWC public var. This is the one which we have created it. So let me this delete. Let me remove the comma. Control S. There is a problem. Where is the problem? Right? What is today's date? CSS example 1. Do you see 2906 CSS example 1? What is that? LWC example 2. 2906 example 2. Example 2 anywhere? No. Control S. JSON failed. The content file name is never, is newer. We didn't use, right? LWC 2906 example 2 public, right? After the last component, do you have any type of how many brackets are there? 2 brackets are there, curly? Yes. This is the component. Every component will have one bracket separately. It starts from here, it's ending here. Inside that, I have components coming up. The last component that came in is closed here. It start here, it's closed here, right? Let me put a comma, Control S, then also no.
Or in the Lightning application, we used that name, right?
Where? Forget about the Lightning application. I'm still in here, no? Right? Lightning application has nothing to do with. I have not yet deployed, right? I'm in my Visual Code, right?
It's asking to overwrite the file, I guess.
Overwrite. Okay, fine. Right? Okay. Control S. Let it be safe. Let's see. Still there is a problem. Compile error. JS. Right. 2903 example 3. Is we deleted, no? So why should have it JS file anywhere? Okay. Let us see. I go to the example 1. I'm closing it. Right. CSS example 1. Let me make a change and let me see that I can deploy or not. Okay. 333. Control S. Control Shift P. deploy this to the source org. Okay, fine, all gone. When you are perfectly know that everything is correct, we'll get so many situations like this where the system is showing error, but that for example, in our case, in that JSON, we deleted all the entries. We put it back to its original status. I deleted from here, I deleted from this entry, but still it was giving an error. Don't worry, just go ahead and deploy any small change and automatically the error will be gone, right? So this is how sometimes you need to break your head. Remember that this file is very JSON config. It's a backend file. We don't disturb this file. This will happen automatically. Whenever you rename, you have to come and manually rename here. But whenever you delete, you need not to delete from here. It will be automatically deleted. Only in the case of rename, it creates a problem, right? As of today, right? Already this feedback has been submitted to Salesforce that whenever we are renaming it, right click rename, right? This creates a problem and deployment fails. So Salesforce is aware. Now, remember that what Control Shift P, create a new lightning component. L, never use in lightning components, right? Never use, right? In lightning component, never use upper camel. If you use upper camel, for example, I'm showing you LWC. Let's take one small example I'm showing. LW, what? I will say that, right? Let's go ahead and say, right, LWC what? Right, child one. I'm showing LWC child. Okay. LWC, right? CHILD child. Now you see, I will say as soon as I put O capital, LWC child one, I'm component. Enter. Wait, I'll show you. These caps are creating a problem, right? Now you'll understand. I created a component called as LWC child one where O is capital. I go here. As usual, I will do the same thing. I will say that, right? Your name. See, here also I'm taking N capital. Keep on watching. Your name, right? Now, right? Where I go to the child one. Here I say comma API, add API. In the programming, I will say what? @API. API what? The variable just I just declared. What was the variable? Your name. Your name. I will say your name equals to what? I will, by default, I'm setting it to Rupam. Right. Now, perfectly fine. It's all done. Control S. Close everything. Okay. Here also Control S. Now I'm creating one more component. Right? One more component. Control Shift P. Lightning component. That LWC underscore. This component I will write as I shouldn't be writing like this, but anyhow, right? 2906 underscore EG, right? What is this? 2906 example 2. All small. Underscore. What is that? PublicVar. Always use your name in a small. Otherwise, there are cases where you will run with a problem and you will not be knowing how to resolve it. Now I have created an example. In the example, I'll be calling whom? The child. Control C, right? Rename, Control Z, Control C, right? I close everything so that you don't have any confusion, right? This is also gone. I got the HTML of example 2. Here, I want to call my child. C hyphen. No more colon. No, wrong. Whenever there is a upper camel, here is upper, it is a dash. It's a dash with lower. Wherever there is upper camel, it's a dash with a lower. Now, is it the name is matching? The child one, but here, there you see how I am placing. You have to do this. Upper camel has to be split with dash. Now, next what? I have declared in the child one, there is a variable called name, but in that also you have what? Any guys? Wrong. You have to dash and you have to put like this. If you declare a variable with a upper camel in it, this variable will not be recognized here. You have to write like this. That is the reason I'm telling you, never use upper camel. Suppose it have used in this name, it use name, then no problem. I can directly without a dash. This is a big division in LWC now, guys. Control S. Able to understand? Yes or no? You have to put like this. Name equals to what? Ravi. Control S. I will deploy both components. First component I'm going. Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. Right? O is capital. Wherever there's a capital, it will come with a dash. It will come with a dash. See, deployed successfully. Now I'm calling here. Control Shift P. Deploy to the source org. Last time we got an okay. What happened? LWC. Now here it is also same. C colon LWC, right? Child one. It's the same, right? It's the same. Control Shift P. Deploy to source org. Let's see. Problem has been detected in the workspace, right? Problem has been detected in the workspace. Okay, step by step. And Control S. See, first of all, okay, Control Shift P. Deploy to the source org. There are some basic issues that you will get in LWC. You should be knowing, and in the interview they will ask you, what is this? LWC child, right? First go and check, because before I deploy this, I need to have this to be deployed. I need this to be deployed, right? My name was what? LWC child one, LWC child. Till here it's same, LWC. The only thing is that here O, so O is here. Check these in your login. I know that you people are getting lost, but it's the naming problem in Salesforce as of today, right? You use upper camel, you land name. Never use an upper, right? In real time, we don't even use dash also. Underscore and dash is a concept. So the custom code, I scroll down, look for my lightning component. We see the right, the child, LWC child got deployed or not. First check that. Scrolling down, LWC. Okay. So what are the things? Do you see our child coming up? Yep. LWC. It's here. Perfectly fine. So first check that it got deployed or not. Yes. Child one. This child one I'm calling inside. Don't put anything. First let us Control S, Control Shift P. deploy, right? The source org resulted an error. Okay, metadata.xml file, okay, expose equals to see, expose equals to true. Here expose equals to true, right? Control Shift P, deploy this resource. So first I'm this child I'm deploying again after setting the expose equals to true. Wait, very good. Now Control S, Control Shift P, deploy this. What is that? Again an error. Keep on watching. What is the error? Right? So what is the error is here? Metadata.xml file missing for light component bundle. Metadata XML file is missing. Why it's missing? Right? Project main 2602 example. Right? Metadata file is missing. Let us go to the JS. Right? Did it has an entry? LWC 2906. Perfect entry is there. Right? Troubleshooting. True. Fine. I'm not doing anything. Right? Metadata file is also same. Example to PublicVar JS metadata. Right? Set it to true. Right? I don't see anything. Control P says deploy to the source of in an error. Right? Metadata XML missing for lightning component bundle. Right? Okay. One thing. Meantime, this is not there. No. Remove this. Control S for the moment. Okay. Control P. Deploy this. Looks like metadata bundle is missing. Bundle is missing. Why?
Can you please remove everything from HTML and see whether the problem is with our child component or actually the problem with the new component?
Control X, Control S, Control Shift P. Deploy this. Looks like there's nothing. It's a blank component. Okay. Let's right click. Hit the component. Move to recycle bin. Control S. Control Shift P. Create a lightning web component. LWC 2906 underscore EG 21 underscore PUBVAR public var PUBLIC var. Wait. Now first let us deploy the blank. Right. Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. Let me see whether I get error or not. It's the component I created, and that component I'm deploying it to the source org. Okay, perfectly fine. I go here, I say exposure equals to true. Control S, Control Shift P, deploy. Maybe we'll create the component was not created completely. That's the reason. It's deploying. Now, once it deploys successfully, let's go ahead and write HTML. Here, I will call : What is that? My component name is what? LWC, right? LWC HILD, right? Let us actually should give me a suggestion there. But anyhow, if
It's
it's
a
not
hyphen,
giving,
right? It's not called an hyphen.
that's correct. It's a hyphen. C hyphen. It should give me a suggestion. See that? LWC1. Always choose the name from here. If you're using a caps in your name, see that none of the caps are there. See how we type the name. You see here 2406 example 2. But you see 2406 example 2 is become small automatically. So remember that it's a naming issues everywhere. See, this is how it has been called. Dash, wherever there's a caps, system will make it while you're calling the name within the LWC, the caps has to be in a lower camel. That means if I want to call component, E has to be in small, I has to be in the small, right? After that, it will say dash calc dash dirty. If this joint, then it will have a dash. Very tedious naming culture. But the same component, this component, when I'm using it in the developer console, I need not to change it to the dash. Right? I need not to change it to the dash. C colon, for example, C colon, right? Wait, just give me a sec, you'll understand. Here, I paste it. Similarly, I paste the other also. Which one? The child one. Where is the child one? Here it is. Right click, rename, copy. When it comes to the Lightning app, you need not to change it to dash. Oh, you need not to do this. Here, it takes its original name of the. Remember this, guys. So whenever you are using an upper camel, right, your name will automatically will become like this. So start using the name C dash LWC. See, system is suggesting. See, calc. I'm taking the same input. C. It is a one word. Input calc. Here you see that input hyphen calc hyphen dirty. Sorry, help dash dirty. Dash help dash dirty. Dash. All the upper has been changed to lower. This is how we should use. I should have. I deleted it. I should have. I do it. You cannot. But if you're doing it, then you have to use like this. This is the way you have to call your components. When somebody try to match this, exact match will not happen. Because here it says what? Input calc dirty. Here it says input dash calc dash dirty. Names are not same. But actually, this is how you refer inside an element. This is how you refer a component. Clear, everyone? How to refer a component inside. Now, inside this, I have what? Mute, please, if you don't have a question. Inside that, there is a variable called, right? There is a variable called, I will say your name. Again, dash name n capital. N caps all now. Reason in the variable, never declare. Your name is what? Ravi. Your name is Ravi. Control S, Control Shift P. Deploy this to the source org. Done. No error. But actually the variable is your name is one word with n capital. But when you declare it in other component, you declare WC upper camel is an issue. Upper camel will be converted to lower camel. Within the sentence, if there is any upper camel used, system will dash with a lower camel, right? I can call like this, right? One component, and I'm placing a paragraph tag, p tag. What I'm doing from an example 21, I pass a value to where? To LW child 1, Ravi, Ram, Sham. Ravi, Ram, Sham. Control Shift P, deploy. Rupam, can I call the other one? Yes, you can. Can I call the input calc 2 here? Yes. First, then we'll call this also. The way one component can inside another component. Same way in Lightning, one component can be called inside the other component. Done, right? Let me go ahead. Already the names are there, both are there. Here, child is there. Child 1 I'm keeping on the top because child 1 for load with Rupam, right? Same child 1 when I'm calling inside example 21, different. Ram, Sham, Ravi is loading. So that this is the child 1. Same way, same variable showing Ram, Sham. Same variable is showing Ravi, Ram, Sham. Ravi, Ram. Same variable, right? Originally, child 1 consists of what? Rupam Chakravarti only. Child 1, here also I'm saying paragraph tag, p tag. I'll give some couple of p tags. Control S. Update preview. See, this is the child name, but how can I pass? You can pass from a parent to a child using an API. The whole concept is called as in the child, whenever and data to be accessed outside, right? I can pass. Rupam, how can I take it? How can I call this in that? Right? How can I take this inside that? You can currently pass, right? Calling this variable inside the other variable is a different way, which we'll see. Now only passing. Using what? API. If I don't use API, then this will become a private variable. Control S. Control Shift P. Deploy. If I don't use API, will it work? Is a question. I have removed API from the child, from the variable, right? There we go. Now go ahead and refresh and see. It's refreshing. So that everywhere it says Rupam. It's not passing your, right? It is not even passing Ravi, Ram, Sham. It's not even passing Ravi, Ram, Sham. Why? Because it doesn't have, whenever you're calling it, whenever you're calling with another, you're calling this as a child inside some parent, all the variables has to be declared with what? @API. @API. If you don't put @API, that will become a private variable. So we have learned two things. Private variable, or also called as local variable, and public variable, also called as, right? You can say it's a global variable. It can be accessed anywhere. It can be accessed anywhere, right? Anywhere I can call this. Next, as I told you, whenever you want to access C-LWC, I want to see input to calc, right? Half of them will be in a different color because system is not recognizing this, but anyhow, it's a name, it's a valid. You see our name here and you see the name there. 2606 example 1, I is capital, here I is small. Input to calc, after 2, C starts. Whenever upper camel starts, immediately system will replace with dash calc. Don't try to copy this directly like this. Rename, Control C, and then don't try to put like this C dash. You will say, wow, it will work. It will not work. This is wrong. Line number 6 is wrong. Line number 5 is correct. There shouldn't be any capital. This capital is wrong. This is wrong. Clear, everyone? Right? Today, simple thing seen how to call a public variable. We'll quickly see get variable, and we will jump to the next concept called as wires. Very important concept called as wire. Wire concept we will jump to the wire concept, right? Or we will jump to the wire with LDS. I'll start LDS then. Actually, today I thought to start LDS, but anyhow, it took a little time. So we should have completed today, right? The next piece called as get. So today we have seen the naming using, right, upper camel in LWC, always lower, and using dash. Dash is a system keyword. You see that automatically system is taking. So you don't put dash in the names. Clear, everyone? Never say Rupam dash this. No, it will give an error because dash is a system keyword. You can say underscore. Now, next time how it will look? Whenever I call this variable, if you put like this, then system will show you. This is how you have to refer. All the upper camel will change to hyphen small dash small camel, which is very tedious. It's better that you'll start getting errors and a lot of things. Better that you don't declare upper camel, always declare lower camels. Recommended is this while declaring variable. Got it? If somebody asks you what are the challenges of LWC, upper camel, first thing you'll call it out. One of the most tedious and hectic in LWC is upper camel, because we are habitual of using upper camel, but in LWC upper camel is not recognized. It replaces with dash lower camel. Hence the name doesn't matches everywhere. Developers get confused. That happens even in variable also. Variables as well as LWC component name. Clear, everyone? Yes. Able to understand, guys? Yes or no? Right? When the error comes, it's very difficult to remove these errors, right? Because here, those errors, we have to fix it. The way we got an error, it's better that, right? Pray God that we should get more errors, right? In the classroom, pray God that you should get more errors, because if you get more errors, how I resolve it is a question. And when you write, pray God that you don't get errors. It's a whole difference. Understood? So today we are seeing naming and API. Naming, API, and CSS. How to apply CSS. Anybody has any questions?
Rupam, how if you want to refer how to access those programs?
Which program? These programs?
Yeah,
What I'm writing?
the class. Yeah.
You cannot access them. This is in my local machine, right? So you will receive this program end of the class after 3 weeks from now. We will complete the syllabus, right? I will dump this whole program, the project itself in the folder, and you can download, and you can say open folder, open the project. You'll get all the programs.
Okay.
Okay.
Even
now?
we got your username password, right?
Yeah.
If you
can.
fetch from the org, we will get
See, there is
these
no meaning
components, right?
username and password. You can't see the components there, no. LWC class is that's see. Otherwise, nobody would have paid the LWC fee, because this is the
No.
same lightning.
What I'm saying, we have VS Code, right? There we can authorize an org, and then from there, can we see the lightning components? Can we just go to the
Yes. Why do you want to see the lightning component? You can click on this.
here.
You can go down.
Yes.
Yes, you can see it. You can see the lightning component. Right?
Yeah, that's what
Aura.
I'm
It will
saying.
be
So
under the aura. It will be under the aura.
Yes.
right? Aura. Where is Aura?
On the top. On the top, yeah. Bottom assignment rules.
Assignment rules. Okay, Aura. It will be, see, all the lightning components are here, right?
Yeah, we can
But
access from here.
however, you cannot access the codes. So what you can do is that, yes, those who are intelligent, Rupam, how can you connect to this org, right? Click on this, right? Not under Aura component. Look for Lightning Web component. It will be under LWC. Here it is. And you can see the code. Come to,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Come to your Visual Code, create a folder, create a project, authorize an org, authorize this org, same org. Automatically you'll get it. Then come here, then click on this icon, download, retrieve. Automatically in your project will be able to understand, guys, everyone, how to get this codes. Currently you can't get the codes. Currently this is the way. Whatever I am uploading, you can download in your, right, in real time. Also you have to do from a production, you have to download the code, then you have to make a change in the code, test it, then again upload it, rewrite, overwrite the code. Same thing you will do. If you want to see my program, create a separate project, authorize the login 96 LT96, right? Come here, click on it, then click on this and click on this. Automatically next time when you go to your project, this icon, you should be able to see everything. Clear now? This is intelligently how you can download the program. Okay. That's it for today, guys. Tomorrow we will see get
Yeah, here
and
one
we
more
will
question
start
for public
LWS. Sorry,
variables
sir?
and global.
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat that?
Sorry, for both the public and global variables also we have to keep at the rate API, right?
Yes. All the public and global variables you have to keep at the rate API.
For both
Your voice is again breaking. There's complete silence. Can't hear. Not, you have a connection problem. Hey. Completely blank. No, you have a bad connection, right? Sorry for that. We can hear only gig, keng, king, kong, some Chinese keywords in between, right? Anyhow, guys, okay, let's meet tomorrow. You can ask it out tomorrow, no issues, right? Those who are joining for the integration batch, please join with the new link. We are starting a new integration batch from today. So, right, please join with the integration link. Contact your admin if you have not received the integration link. Integration class starts from today at 10 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Thank you, guys. Let's meet tomorrow with the same link. Have a nice and wonderful day.